Hey, what's up guys? So in this video, I wanted to go over my favorite early 2000s or Y2K era sneakers that I own in my collection. These are sneakers that have been trending in the last couple of years. So if you're someone interested in one of these and you still haven't pulled the trigger, I hope this video kind of helps your decision a little bit easier. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so I basically have three categories of brands. I have New Balance sneakers, I have Asics, and also Nike. Starting with New Balance, here we have the A60 V2. This is definitely one of my favorite New Balance sneakers as far as this category. Super stylish sneaker in my opinion, looks really good, very comfortable as well. There are a ton of GRs. Pretty much all of these are going to have a ton of GRs, really cool colorways as well. But some of my favorite features of the A60 V2 is that it feels very light, very breathable, and at the end of the day, in my opinion, it just looks great. Next, we have the 1906R. This is a sneaker that also has the same midsole and cushioning system as the A60 V2. The A60 V2 is the one that originated that type of cushioning system. Here we have that on this model as well. The upper, of course, is from the 1906 model. This model for New Balance in 2024 has been very popular. New Balance has been pumping a lot of colorways of this model, a lot of collabs as well. So here in 2024, it continues to do really well. And finally, here we have the 2002R. This model right here for New Balance really did really well when it started, I believe, what, 2 years ago now, 3 years ago at least. And this model really started a trend for New Balance to kind of start pumping out these early 2000 type sneakers. This sneaker right here to this day is one of my favorite ones. Even this colorway right here, I wear this sneaker all the time. Super comfortable. I really like this model from New Balance. All right, next brand that we're going to be talking about are Asics. Starting off is the Kayano 14, one of my favorite Asics models here. And of course, with this look, with this shiny metallic look, is definitely synonymous with the early 2000 Y2K vibe with this shiny metallic look. Super comfortable here with this Kayano 14. Love this sneaker, very stylish as well. Next one up is the Gel NYC, technically the newest model pretty much out of all the ones we're going to be talking about today. This is technically a new model from Asics, but it's basically inspired by that same early 2000 type of shoe. Very comfortable sneaker here as well. There's a ton of nice colorways, nice GR colorways, and also some nice collabs like the Bodega one, and also very recently the Hit It NY. Next one up is the Asics GT 2160. I've actually bought quite a few sneakers of this model. Not really planned, they just keep pumping out some nice colorways and I just end up buying them. Some nice collabs have recently dropped also on this model. Probably right now my favorite Asics sneaker that I own. I obviously love the Kayano 14, but man, is this one very close as well. Super clean, nice colorways on this model as well. Definitely recommend it. Check this one out. And the last one from Asics is the Gel 1130. This is definitely the cheaper one out of all the sneakers on this table. This shoe right here has also had some really nice collaborations like the Hall Studios, for example. Those were amazing collabs. And this shoe right here is definitely a great sneaker, very comfortable as well. And of course, you get that same sort of synthetic look. Also the shiny metallic overlays, but you can definitely find different colorways, different materials that they use on this model as well. All right, the last brand that we're going to be talking about is from Nike. Here you have the Nike P6000. This is also a nice shoe. Very underrated, to be honest. I feel like the Vomero 5 has just overtaken sort of this category from Nike. Other than the Vomero 5, you really don't see a ton of, this style sneaker being pumped out by Nike. There's of course a new model that I just can't think about it right now. Probably put a picture here so you guys can see it, but the Vomero 5 has pretty much taken over. But this shoe right here, the P6000, definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's definitely on the cheaper side as well. The materials definitely feel a lot cheaper than a Vomero 5, but it's also cheaper for your wallet. So definitely check the P6000. Nice shoe, also comfortable, very light as well, even though it looks very bulky, surprisingly very light. And finally, the Vomero 5. Nike had to answer back to brands like New Balance and Asics that was doing really well with this type of sneaker. Nike had to come up with something and they re-released the Vomero 5. But Nike actually started releasing really nice colorways, and this was one of the first ones. I was able to get this one, this oatmeal colorway, one of my favorite Vomero 5s to release up until this point. And again, the Vomero 5 is very comfortable, also light, looks good. Definitely recommend this pair. All right, so the last thing I wanted to do in this video is to go over some important categories and starting off with the most valuable sneaker, meaning overall when it comes to quality, comfort, price, and style. I think for me personally, the most valuable sneaker here is the 2002R. Not only are you gonna get a lot of GR colorways that have some really amazing, materials like the suede on this pair. It's not a made in USA sneaker, it's not a made in UK, but still, even for a GR, a sneaker that's mostly gonna be made either in China or Vietnam, New Balance still is able to produce some really nice quality materials on this sneaker. It's also super comfortable. The price, usually 2002Rs go for like 140, maybe 150, somewhere around that ballpark. I think this shoe here is super comfortable and stylish. There's also other type of 2002 Rs that New Balance has released with like Gore-Tex, just to give you some additional options with this model. As far as the most expensive that we mentioned here on this list, it's typically going to be the asics Kayano 14. Typically a GR colorway goes for about $150, but there's also been some collabs that go up to $200. So that's something to keep in mind and consider when looking at this model. Also the Vomero 5, in recent months, Nike has actually increased the price on this pair. Yeah, sometimes it include a little bit of more premium materials, but I believe when I bought this colorway last year, I paid $150, and now right now, I think most Vomero 5s go for $160, even up to $180. So keep that in mind when buying one of these shoes. As far as the cheapest one, it's going to be the asics Gel 1130. I believe this particular colorway I bought for $95, but now asics, as they've been pumping a lot of different colorways, some with a little bit of different materials, they can go up to like $115 depending on the colorway. When it comes to the most comfortable pair, man, that is super hard, especially with all of these sneakers here. Pretty much all these are very comfortable. It's like really splitting hairs. But again, if I was just to pick one as far as overall comfort and feel, I would have to go with the 2002 R. Another one that I really like is the A60 V2, also the GT 2160 and the 1906 R. The next category is best bang for your buck, and that one goes to the asics Gel 1130. Like I said, it typically goes for $95 up to $115 for the GR pairs. This sneaker here looks really good, very comfortable, light. Of course, you can't go wrong with this pair. As far as the best looking pair, then of course, that is super subjective. That is totally up to you. But some of the ones that I have here, if I could only pick like 3 of them as far as overall style and look, then of course, I'm gonna go with the 2002 R. I'm gonna go with the Kayano 14, and then I'm gonna go with the GT 2160. And finally, guys, let's talk about the sizing with all of these sneakers. Typically here, you can't go wrong going with your regular size or true to size, but some of these, of course, are not gonna fit exactly the same. I would say that the one pair that feels sort of the biggest out of all these pairs to me is the P6000. I went with a size 10. I probably could have been better off going a half a size down. As far as the New Balance pairs that I have here, the 2002 R, 1906 R, and the A60 V2, again, I suggest going with your regular size or true to size. The one that probably feels the tightest one, but not in a really bad way, I would say is the A60 V2, and the one that feels the more loose pair is the 2002 R. As far as the asics pairs, the Kayano 14, the Gel NYC, and the Gel 1130, they're kind of in the similar, ballpark as far as the sizing, being very similar. The GT 2160, I would say maybe it's just a little bit more narrow than those. I feel like the other ones have a wider toe box, if that's something of concern to you, especially if you have a wide foot. But overall, with these 4 asics models, I think going with your regular size or true to size will be okay. All right, guys, so that's it for me. I really hope you guys find this video useful. Let me know in the comments below which one of these models is your favorite one. And like always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. To all the new subscribers, thank you. Anybody who's new and stopping by for the first time, feel free to subscribe, feel free to like the video, comment below. Also follow me on Instagram and Threads at Guy and Kicks. And that's it, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.